All right, welcome to class. How's everybody doing? Yay. All right, today we are talking about triangle congruence. And if you were in class, you probably have already cut out your triangles and looked at how the sides are congruent. Now let's talk about how to mark these triangles correctly to see what is congruent. So let's say we have two triangles. Draw a triangle. Draw another triangle. Does not have to necessarily be in the same position. So, what we're going to do, I'm trying to get my computer to dock correctly. It's not showing up. Okay, there we are. Okay, so we have two triangles, and this is going to be a triangle. We'll call it A, B, C. So yes, you do have to give it some letters. So this is triangle A, B, C. All right, let's give the next one. We're going to call this one X, Y, Z. So this one will be triangle X, Y, and Z. So we're going to go ahead and say that these are congruent, and let's talk a little bit about how you mark it when the triangles are congruent. First, you write it like this. I have just written that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle XYZ. So how can we mark that? Well, the first thing I'll tell you to do, I like to put the triangle congruents on top of each other. So triangle ABC. I'm going to put it on top of triangle X, Y, and Z. Now, I can find my line segments by doing this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to circle these first two letters here. So I've got AB line segment is congruent to XY. Well, let's look at that. So here we have AB. And AB is congruent to XY. I'm coloring it. There's another way that you can mark them congruent. It's with a tick mark. That's what I call it. Is that right, Bronson? Tick mark? Have fun? Okay, we're good. Now, let me go. It's always in my way. The little pen thing. There we go. Ha ha ha. Don't like that it's there. There we go. Okay. All right, so now let's mark another one. So that was AB and XY. So let's look at, I'm going to move up just a little bit. Now I'm going to do it again. Triangle ABC. Let's kind of put a mark there so you know it's different. Triangle XYZ, putting them on top of each other again. Well, now I can circle the last two, because now I have side BC is congruent to YZ. So let's check our theory here. Get another color. Okay, BC was right here. And it was congruent to YZ. Another way we can mark that is with two tick marks, because it is the second congruent side. AB is not congruent to BC. If it was, we would both put one tick mark. But in this case, we have AB, that's one side, is congruent to XY. BC is congruent to ZY or YZ. So we're going to put two marks because it's the second congruent side. Okay? We can do it again. For the third one, again, triangle ABC and triangle XYZ, putting them on top of each other again. Now this time is a little trickier. I have to black out the middle. I'll black out the middle. Now I have line segment AC and XZ. So let's see if that theory works. Let me get another color. AC, here's our AC, and XZ. Look at that. Now, how many tick marks do you think I'm going to get on this one? Correct. 3. 1, 2, 3. Very good. Over here, 1, 2, 3. So that's how I'm going to mark the congruent sides. Okay? So these are the congruent sides of a congruent triangle. Okay? Got it? Now, we can also mark congruent angles as well. If angle ABC is congruent to if triangle ABC is congruent to triangle XYZ, then the angles are also congruent. This one's even easier to do, guys. Okay, so again, put your, so this is the angles. Okay, so we're going to talk about the angles. Let me say marking congruent angles. Okay, so for marking congruent angles, okay, we have triangle ABC. It was congruent to triangle XYZ. Notice how I'm writing it in the same order it's given to me up here. Triangle ABC and XYZ. I'm not jumbling the letters. There's a reason. It's on purpose. Okay, for the angles, all you have to do is just circle the first angles, second angles, and the third angles. If you want to highlight them in different colors, that's fine. You've got angle A and X. And, you know, let's use some different colors that we haven't used before. Orange. Sounds good. B and Y. But another color. Let's use pink. Why not? Pink. C and Z. And let's change this one. Oops. To a different color as well. And we'll use green. Ooh. Get it to be a highlighter. And there we have the green. Okay, so that means angle A and X are congruent. Now you can write that different ways. Let's go up here and look at it real quick. So we got A and X. All right, so here's A, and here is my X. And here was the A. Okay? So A and X are correct. If you look, A is between the line segment AB and BC. And X is also between XY and XZ. So do you see how those match up? All right. Have I confused anybody yet?
I'm good.
You're good. Okay.
The rest of y'all.
Right?
I'm
We're good too. Me too. Me too. All right. Now, so our imaginary students. Okay. Now let's look at, let's get a thicker one. B and Y. Okay. So we said that B, and I'm going to go ahead and mark it with 2, and Y. Okay. Because that is the second angle that is congruent to each other. Second angle, okay? Now I'm going to go back and look at CZ. And that was what, pink? I made that pink. Yep. Okay, sounds good. C and Z. So now I can mark those. And that's my third set of congruent angles. So there's my third. 1, 2, 3. All right? It looks really confusing, but if you go back to the beginning of the video, just watch it again. I'm doing it piece by piece. So, to review, congruent sides, line them up on top of each other, circle the first 2. Second, line them up again, circle the last 2. Third, line them up on top of each other again, black out the middle and circle, and you get AC and XZ. That's just my little shortcut, okay? And then you can mark them. Congruent angles. Just line them up on top of each other and highlight. A and X are congruent. B and Y are congruent. C and Z are congruent. Now, you can still write that. So you have, let's say we're talking about angle C, right, and Z. You can still write that BCZ, so angle BCZ, right? So we're starting up here with the yellow one that's got the yellow side, BC. So then I would be doing YZX. Because we're doing C and Z. B, C, A. You could write that. And angle Y, Z, X. If you needed to. Okay? All right. I hope that helps. So, if you have any questions, let us know.